Hey Sag, Luna here. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Sorry guys, I am dead tired. I've got Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces next, but I gotta be honest, y'all. I tried to do y'all's reading yesterday, and I apologize for it being posted late, but I'm actually posting as well a Patreon video with the Isis Oracle deck, where we go into the various levels of unconditional love. We go over rites and rituals that will help anchor your fairy blessings down to really use them. Now that will work for the whole month. So like I said, that's going to be on Patreon after this video. So give me just a few moments while I go ahead and start shuffling. But yeah, Sag, I kept trying to do y'all's video. I had to stop. I had a migraine all day, and I was pushing through with Scorpios because unfortunately for me, I'm predispositioned to migraines around a certain time of the month. My ladies know what I'm talking about. And if you're a gentleman and you have no idea, it doesn't bother you. Just know I get migraines. I love you guys though, but I'm just like, y'all, I'm so tired. And I don't know if it's necessarily the hypothyroidism at this point, or if it's just the energy of spring. Spring is like active, but also when it comes to April, very inactive, because April moves fast, believe it or not. April is one of those months where it's like, I look and it was day 3, and then all of a sudden I realized it was like day 13, you know, and leading up to April, I don't know if this has been happening for you guys, but when you work with the Fae realm, time and non-linear time kind of, they blend together. And so, non-linear time is essentially like destiny, things that happen in time. Linear time is like when our bills are paid, okay? When they're due, when we're going to meet someone for lunch or whenever. That's linear time. We created that. And so it's like, you guys also had that moon magic coming up, which I'm like, God, that was such an awesome reading to give to you, Sag. And I'm really wondering what's coming up for this week. Let's see, did we get an upright card? Yeah. Oh, Sagittarius. Okay. I have been pulling this card repeatedly, and I have tried and tried and tried to work with it. And when I say try, I have tried various methods. I have tried various ways. I have slept with it under my dang pillow. I have done everything under the sun that I could think of to try to understand this card. And I gotta be honest, I straight up couldn't. Like, this is one of those cards where I'm kind of got my head against a brick wall. And I thought to myself today, man, when am I going to get the lesson of this card? Like, how is it going to reveal itself? Because it's a card of purity. And it's not that, like, I don't get purity, but it talks about, like, this is the blessing of the white heart. And so it's the sacred heart. It's a sacred path. And maybe my problem is I'm looking at it too closely. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if this is happening to you guys. Like, if you are looking at something too closely and you just can't see how to break past that barrier, but like, this is telling me you will. I know you will, because I've been working with this card for like 2 months, and I know you will. I know you will, because you are going to. That is the guarantee of this card. But it has to do with integrity, and it has to do with how you maintain integrity. And okay, see, I'm saying I don't know this card, but maybe I really do, because that's where I've been for 6 years, is in a place of integrity in the spiritual and mystical world, which, let me tell you, you already get ostracized enough from the real world, but then you have other readers competing with other readers out of spiritual ego. Then you've got like fair owners being pieces of crap because they're too busy to rock the boat. Then you've got people always wanting to gyp you and not pay you. I mean, it's problems, dude. It is so many problems. It's bullshit. That's why I said it's bullshit. And it's like, I've been at the end of my rope, Sag, on certain things in the metaphysical world before I started really working with the Fae openly. Working with them privately is different, because it's like they get what's going on, but when you come out in the open, like Fae-wise, they have shifted things for me that where it's no longer like that, and it's in my choice and my power and my integrity if I choose to have things go back the way they were. But it talks about the path not being easy. Now, this is actually from one of Amy Brown's fairy art books. I wish I could remember. If I had the book, my book is in storage 3 hours away, but if I had it, I would have gone in and read the script on it too for you guys, because I feel like her images and the way she saw them are just as important as Lucy Cavendish's interpretations, because Lucy Cavendish's interpretations are primarily from the Fae, but Amy Brown envisioned these from the Fae, which is also just as, if not important. So, so sorry guys, I'm just passionate about the Fae and getting it right. Like, they're always like, you're so hard on yourself. I'm like, I know. You know, like, I'm like, yeah, I know. They teach me how to have more fun. They teach me how to tap into the Sagittarian aspects of life, where it's okay to be like the cosmic ruler, but you got to go let loose. You know, they like really get me into that Sagittarius energy that you guys, you're in it all the time. So when something feels like a drab, you're out, you know, like y'all are like, I'm gone, bye. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you're too high vibe for that. But this card is telling me right here, you're starting to feel like you can't shake something. And so the blessing of the white heart is the fairy gift of integrity and recognition of the sacred. So this is pretty powerful, because sacred energy is about honoring, right? But not just any kind of honoring. Not like, it kind of goes with like honoring your mom or honoring your marriage or honoring, you know, your boss. Even though you don't like them, you honor their authority, you know. But those are too 3D for this. Given they're good examples for you guys to understand, but to the Fae, honoring is completely different. It is like you honor the wind that blows in your path. You honor the beauty of the colors that you see, if you can see them, or if you can't see, you honor the feel of the grass. You honor life itself perpetuating. It's very, very sacred. It's just as, if not as sacred as like working with unicorn energy, which last time I did, there's another like energy here. This is more like a deer. But the thing is this is actually, I did some research and I read about it, like having to do with the goddess Diana and how they would only hunt stags that were of a certain type of stag. And it was a female one, but they would honor it, you know. And once upon a time, another example would be like the huntsman. He would kill after he would, he would cry after he would do his, you know, go for the deer and hunt it. But he was honoring its life. Like, and people would make fun of him because he would honor his hunts, you know, his kills from the hunt. And the other hunters, you know, were trying to make fun of him and whatnot. But the thing is he saw their lives as sacred even after the hunt, that it would perpetuate. And, you know, it kind of, that's also like The Witcher, you know, the deer, the fawn at the opening scene of season 1. It's the same thing where, you know, the poor thing gets hurt and Henry Cavill's character, you know, Geralt is like, it's just not your day. And he, you know, he has to end up, he puts it out of its misery, because to have it be in misery would be a terrible way for it to go. Or to die of infection. It would be a terrible way for it to go. It would be dishonoring the animal. So it's so interesting, because I normally don't, I have an animal totem deck, y'all, for tarot only, which I do use when people request it. It's very like shamanistic animal totem energies, which I am part indigenous, so that's pretty impactful for me on my path. I've done some of, you know, some work with them. And the animal totems really come to me. That's the thing. If you want to do animal totem work, I will say that. But with this, it's like you're already being recognized for that. You're already being recognized for what you do. But this, for some reason, I'm called to tell y'all, it's just a closer path to animals than I think you realize. Or you're becoming closer in a way that is honoring and respecting them. You know, so that's actually kind of nice. So the beauty of this gift of the other world is to keep what is sacred, sacred, to be given the gift of great integrity in times without such things held dear. Oh, believe me, I know what it's talking about. To see the white heart is a magical event. The legendary creature of the deepest, most ancient part of the green world, the white heart, is a fairy creature, a real being, and is a sign from the Fae realms that you must keep true to what is sacred. When you receive this gift, it may seem like a burden. Do not feel this way, for it is that you are recognized as a person of high integrity, and that to keep to this is the most important as this at this time right now. So this is about not sacrificing your integrity for what you want, which is what so many people do to get what they want because it's easy. But let me tell you something, Sag. Life is not easy. It is a challenge, and it is meant to be a challenge. Only the fair few incarnate here, honey. And even for those of us that are high spiritually up there, it's still freaking hard, and we're still learning lessons. Just because I do these readings doesn't mean I know all, see all, know all the lessons, because I don't. The more you learn about spirituality, the more you learn you don't know everything, and you're always going to be left with the surprise. But what you do know is you know more about yourself, you know more about your integrity, and you know more about where you stand, which is important. Let's see. The book also says, when you receive this gift, it may seem like a burden, but do not feel this way, for it is that you are recognized as a person of high integrity, and that kept to be most important at this time. By keeping your integrity, by being true to what is sacred and precious to the fairies, which is the natural world, you will be blessed with ease and confidence in your own doings, a sense of rightness about all that comes, and a simple recognition of those that are not in integrity. You'll know, because people will be like, they'll be like that sleazy watch guy from Hercules, hey, you want to buy some watches? Like that guy, or some time dials or whatever it was. You know what I'm talking about. You'll know those people. You'll sense they're disingenuous. You will. And because I can even sense it now, even with other readers. Like, I'm sure they mean well, but like, I can sense it from other readers, but I don't call them out because maybe that's their path to discover. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I'm not going to start fights with people. Why should I? I know my integrity, just like we all know, like as of the Oscars on Sunday, we had to relearn the lesson of integrity, especially in the art world. That was a tough lesson because it was given so freely. And then for someone to go pull what they did at the Oscars, you know who you are. As an art historian, that was an art historical film history disaster. But the reason I'm pointing this out is because certain people in that circle are relearning the lessons of integrity and what happens when you act out of integrity, when you are disingenuous and in their moral compass. And sometimes that's hard to learn too, because other people watch and other people make fun of that person, and I feel sorry for that person. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel sorry for that person. Really, I do. Because, see, and here's the thing about the white heart. You don't act out of anger. You don't act out of sadness. You don't act out of bitterness. You don't come from those negative, lower 3D vibrations, 1D, 2D vibrations of need-based. You come from a space of, nope, I know I feel this way, but that's not my path right now. This is my focus, right? And so it's like taking that a step level to recognize your focus, Sag. What is your focus? What are you focusing on too? I'm not going to finish reading from the book just yet because I want to pose these questions. You guys are getting these very philosophical cards lately. And it's funny because you're the 9th house of philosophy and spirituality. So it sounds like, the Fae beings are trying to get you to go deeper into that and explore that. Might as well before Mercury retrograde hits and Pluto retrograde hits, because it's easier to go with the current before it goes against you, which is what happens usually when those planets work in retrograde. They go against us all, and then we learn lessons and we pay the price, because especially when it comes to integrity, we pay the price for the things that we hold dear. And that's something to think about. I always like to, make fun of Once Upon a Time, or bring it in, because it's true. Magic always comes with a price, and that is true. But, a lot of people don't talk about, for the people who deal with disingenuous people and they're not in integrity, they're not aligned in that, nobody mentions that they'll have to pay a price. In the spiritual world, we know it. But in the real world, people don't understand that. And that's something that needs to be, you need to work on that to know that believe me, that price will be paid, whether it's by that person or someone close to them. And so it's like, that sucks. Like, it's going to suck to be them. And then you kind of pity them. And I have a mentor who says pity is not a kind emotion. And she's right. I mean, pity isn't exactly like a happy emotion. That's like, I feel sorry for you kind of emotion, you know, like it's not, she says it's not kind, but I think it opens us up to some type of compassion, at least some, if not, you know, like at least examining our views of a compassion. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is the rest of the book says, the White Heart asks us to recall the old gods, aka the old ways, the Hareen, the hunter, and to be blessed with the gift of seeking what it is you wish to know, seeking your own true self. It gives you the keys to becoming who you are meant to be. Let there be blessings of the pure-hearted, of stripping away of what holds you back, and let there be graceful, beautiful movement into a more poetic and mythic understanding of the world. Let the deep peace of the wild heart of the forest be yours, friend. For you will have seen the white heart, and so there will be a calling to the sacred, a blessing for those who follow the pure, magical, and so very sacred call. Now, I guess the truth is, the reason I haven't quite fully grasped this, as far as a lesson, is because I'm still working on sacred all the time. What is sacred to me? It's so funny, right? Like I keep working with this card, trying to understand the lesson, and I just realized I've understood it the whole time. I understood it the whole time. I just thought I didn't, because unraveling the sacred is different for everybody, right? And so we have to think, what is sacred? And that's where I would tell you, look at spiritual laws. That'll tell you exactly what's sacred and on what is considered to be sacred, and then to develop your calling or whatever it is you're being called to use the sacred white heart for this week, to examine that a little bit closer. So other than that, Sag, that's where I'm really going to wrap this up. I think this is it's a beautiful card. I always get like fake court energies from this card. I mean, I do, typically with these cards, these are mostly Sealy court cards, but which is the high vibrational fairy magic cards. But I wanted to just kind of point that out, because this is such a rare card to get. So if you're at this level and you're getting it and you're getting these energies and you're understanding, sacred, what is sacred, or principles of what should be sacred, and etc., then you're at this doorway of really working and developing into that. And that's beautiful, Sag. So like I said, and join me on Patreon for your Isis Oracle, because we're going to look at ways that this is also, by the way, developing process of the sacred. Because this is working with the deity. Working with the deity is working with the sacred, as long as you honor and respect them and, treat them right. Same with the natural world and, peace in your home. It's very much like that. How you treat your lover with kindness and respect. That's also important too. But yeah, this is another way of working with the sacred. So join me on Patreon, where I'm going to have your reading for the Isis Oracle. We're going to go into sacred ways of alignment with rites, rituals, spells, incantation, and spell casting. So join me on Patreon for that. And until we speak again, Sag, I love you guys so much. Again, if you'd like to leave me a tip, you would like to book an emergency session with me, or you want to look at the tiers on Patreon, click on the Patreon link or click in the links down in the description box below, and make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Until we speak again, goodbye, Sag.